What's up, guys? Just thought I'd just record a little something. Considering, 10th anniversary. That thing doesn't happen. That thing only happened once. Yeah. So, I guess I'd probably take this time to kind of tell my story of being on YouTube. Um, so stumbled onto it in 2008. I'd pretty recently gotten internet access. Um, yeah, I kind of live in a sheltered household. It's just I wasn't even allowed on the internet until I was like 13. But yeah, so um, yeah, made a YouTube account. And mainly, it was for Twisted Metal videos at the time. So it's just I would just look up like endings to like Twisted Metal 1, and at the time those were games I hadn't played since I was like 4, when my brothers would visit. Um, they were big time into Twisted Metal, especially my older brother Danny. But yeah, eventually it just kind of, you see certain YouTubers that were posting videos about that at the time. The ones that I gravitated towards were 72 Winnebagle, which, yeah, pretty much. And I wish I could talk right. He pretty much provided the inspiration for me to do videos, and it actually wasn't even the Twist Metal videos he did, but it was a separate series he did called The Cars of Grand Theft Auto. And so I loved his content. Well, actually, when I first saw it, it was like the first video I saw was a video on whether or not Pit Viper was going to be coming back to Twisted Metal. And for some reason, he had this like weird kind of like voice he was doing for it. It was just like, Pit Viper is hasn't been in Twisted Metal since, and it's like, that one just made me go, okay, this guy's dumb. I'm gonna avoid his videos. And then I stumbled on to another one. It's like, oh, he's actually, pretty good discussion opener, that sort of thing. A lot of people tended to give him shit because he had like a lisp. It was like a front lisp, and it was, I don't know, just petty what people would do. But yeah, I pretty much started, making videos. Actually, the very first video I made, don't think it's up anymore. I think I got rid of it. It was actually just a regular, just music video. So if you're just looking up a specific song, like it'll have like the album art, that sort of thing. Just, you know, listening to a song. It was Where It's At by Beck. And it was just, I really like that song. First time I heard it was credits of like Gran Turismo 2. Like if you complete simulation mode, that's the music that plays during the credits. So just did a video of that, and then a little bit later I did a like intro video like, oh, coming soon, it's gonna be the cars of Twisted Metal. I'm gonna be like discussing all the cars and doing a review and teaching people how to how to play them. And yeah, so first one I did was Roadkill because that was and kind of still is my favorite. When you get older and play with a bunch of the other cars to actually get a good feel for them, you tend to favor certain cars over others when you play different games. And that's actually a large reason why after I did the Cars of Twisted Metal, which ended with 12 pack from Twisted Metal Lost. So the so like the extra game that was on the extra twisted edition of Twisted Metal Head On, the one that was supposedly put together by developers that died in a plane crash when that was all just story. Um, but yeah, it was like I started making videos in October and then finished all that up by January. And you could really tell that it was made with the philosophy of quantity over quality, because those videos are actual dog shit. And originally, when I wanted to do the reviews, I mean, the first one I did, Roadkill, originally that was going to be just text. Like, I'd just have a picture of the car, and I'd just be adding just text bubbles into Windows Movie Maker, and just, have that explain my thoughts on it. Which, granted, that would have been pretty good from a scripting standpoint, but I found a microphone so I could do, oh wow, I could just say my thoughts on it. And of course, say my thoughts I did. And much like my normal speaking patterns, my brain has to reload quite a bit. Kind of, there's an example right there. I need to think of what I needed to say like ahead of time. So otherwise, I'm just a stuttering mess. And yeah, a lot like what I'm doing now. But yeah, so, and I used to do that on like an old bucket ass Windows ME computer that was like state of the art in like 2000. And this was 2008. I had recently gotten a hold of like an installation disk for Windows XP, and tried using that, but that was just, it's like hanging a new chandelier in a haunted house. So yeah, pretty quickly we over that summer we kind of got new computers throughout the house. So that one was Windows Vista, which was the new one at the time, and then it would be replaced like the year afterwards with Windows 7, but oh well. But yeah, Windows Movie Maker was actually pretty much what I made videos on for the longest time, because I mean, it was reliable. It was simple, but it was reliable. So got done with the Cars of Twisted Metal. Tried to do a similar thing for the ones for the 989 games called Thrasher's House of Pain, because I mean, those are the ones that Twisted Metal fans love to hate. So in which case it was like I'm supposed to be like, oh, I'm super pissed off, I'm gonna rip them a new one. It's just, no, it didn't come across as that, and it was actually kind of a really dumb concept. But yeah, so afterwards it was just like car music videos where I just take a whole bunch of like footage of a certain car and then just put music to it. I do that for Twisted Metal characters. I support other people who are doing Twisted Metal videos. And that's, like I'd coordinate with 72 Winnebago. Well, not coordinate. We never really made a video together, honestly. I've reached out to him a whole bunch of times. I remember that, but I mean, 72 just did what 72 did. Another friend I had at the time, he went by Twisted Metal Rules, and then Holly Bros Inc. So he has a lot of channels. Guy's name is Nick. And he's done really good for himself so far as on YouTube. We're friends on Facebook. We, wound up being pretty good friends because we were united under, the whole thing of, hey, we're Twisted Metal fans. We all find this really fun and we make videos on it. So at the time I'm 14, he's 13 and freshly turned 14. But yeah, so we would just do videos on that, and eventually we kind of dipped off into other things where he would start doing like skits, and uh, it's just like I kind of didn't really have too much of a direction after I'd, you know, done my series. Right now, I'm looking at my channel to kind of refresh my memory, so to speak, on what what I started doing after that. So first, it was the Cars of Twisted Metal, of course. Um, uh, Took part in some memes or whatever that were big at the time. Let's see here. Thrasher's House of Pain, Cars of Twisted Metal, music videos. Let's see here. And afterwards, and then I'd start doing music videos for people I followed. So there was one that I did for 72, and then another one that I did to Nick, containing footage of all their videos and just whatever music I could find. So a couple videos on Driver. So let's see here, just a whole bunch of other random ass videos. A discussion on Marcus Kane in a Death Race sequel. So the old Cars of Twisted Metal 2 thing that I did, because even in 2010, so like 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago, I was like, yeah, what I did was pretty shitty and sloppily done, so I'm going to do this shit right. So I got together actual footage to, support my points. And I actually scripted shit, so I wasn't stuttering and just a mess all the time. And yeah, just did it on Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal 2, recording footage off of actually a downloaded copy of Twisted Metal 2 for the PC. So that and Fraps, and boom, good to go. And then right around that time, it's just 2010 was just that. I'm all over the place. I apologize. Will not be uploading for a long time. 6 years ago. And then almost immediately afterwards, there was a Twisted Metal demo discussion. So at that time, the new demo for Twisted Metal 2012 dropped, and I was like, whoa, dude, that's cool. They're bringing back Twisted Metal to the PS3, and it's going to be awesome and fun. And yeah, so I briefly did a mini series on the Cars of Twisted Metal for, the new game. And it was limited to what cars we had available to us at the time. So we didn't have, we didn't have Roadboat, it looks like. We didn't have Kamikaze. We didn't have, we had Crimson Fury. I was about to say that, but that's obviously not the case. So, and then right around 2012 was, that's when, oh god, Doomsday, we're all gonna die. So I posted a video that morning going, well, looks like the world's still standing, so much for Doomsday predictions. And it's just nothing further than that, essentially. Then more Fraps testing in like 2013 for so I did one on Twisted Metal 2, playing that on a PS1 emulator on my computer. Then did one with Jet Moto, but with commentary in the background. Or no, that one was actually music. No, that one was with commentary. Okay, so I did one with Crash Bandicoot that was music in the background. So yeah, just set that to music. And then, let's see here, 2013, So 5 years ago, I did a 5 years ago retrospective on what was going on in my life at the time. So pretty much I'd recently gotten my EMT basic certification. I'm still licensed as an EMT basic, but yeah, it's pretty much just limited to volunteer stuff that I use that certification for. Let's see here. So then there was this big just gap where I wasn't uploading. So around that time, I'm, attending classes. At that point, I was going for paramedicine. So I actually wound up going down to California and studying there. Um, didn't have time to make videos or anything. It was pretty much limited to study, 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 watch content creators on YouTube for leisure time, but otherwise it was pretty much just nose to the grindstone. And even then, at the very end, it didn't pan out. So whatever. Yeah, so in the meantime, I was watching a whole bunch of different YouTube creators. So back around 2010, like Ray William Johnson was like really big, like a height of his popularity, and so I was subscribed to that. And I wanted to do stuff like that, but eventually, it got old. Honestly, you get to a certain point when your sense of humor changes, and like it's, anyways, it's just different stage of my life, hormone-ridden stage of my life. But otherwise, I found other creators like Some Call Me Johnny, really awesome game reviewer. He also has a Let's Play channel called Super Gaming Brothers. Awesome channel. You should check that out. And he also does recordings with Brain Scratch Commentaries, which is also kind of a Let's Play channel, but it's pretty much, it takes place over a Skype call between like four different people, just strewn about the East Coast. And then other people like JonTron, Kid Icarus, that sort of thing. And so I kind of broke my no upload thing by April 2017, where for an April Fool's joke, I did a really quick, like, the cars of Twisted Metal 2. Oh, just a quick, succinct summary of every single car, like, oh, this guy sucks, this guy's good, this one's difficult. That it was just meant to be silly. And then around that time, well, actually, no, not around that time, a couple of months later, I was figuring I should, make a push to get a PS4, because at that time Crash Insane Trilogy was coming out, and GT Sport was coming that fall. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and just do this. I have a job, I'm making pretty decent money doing that. My overhead of my cost of living isn't really that high. Let's just do this. So from what I figured out, that led to me uploading a whole bunch, because, hey, you can record footage on a PS4. It's got its own stuff, it's got its own hardware for that. So you can just have it connect to the internet and just, you can stream, you can upload stuff. Then I figured, wow, cool. Now my lull in content's just gone. So at the time, it was GTA Online, which held me over for a bit, and then I decided to start streaming Crash. Kind of wound up being an impromptu kind of Let's Play. The first few didn't have any commentary. It wasn't until like a GTA 5 stream where I decided to, start talking and, include my reactions. And yeah, pretty much that led to a whole bunch of, the same sort of content you guys have been seeing. Pretty much GTA, just yeah. So Grand Theft Auto, Crash, tried out Rocket League. So far, I've only played 2 hours of that, and those 2 hours are all online for you to see. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much most of my content up to this point. I actually started doing track tours of a whole bunch of PS1 racing games I used to play, and it's more just for I feel like I'm in the mood for this, so I'm just gonna live stream these because why not? I've got the equipment to do that. I got a Hop Hog earlier this year. Sounds like I would have been better off with an Elgato because that's what Nick uses for all of his gameplay videos, and turns out pretty well. He's got all that. He's got tech stuff on lockdown, man. He's really good with all that stuff. So, yeah, I decided to make a push for my 10th anniversary to at least have a couple of some content for you guys on the Cars of Twisted Metal too. So pretty much bring back the same kind of content, but better, that I started out with. Not editing on Windows Movie Maker anymore. I've got not exactly free, kind of close to it, kind of a $20 license video editor that's a good step above Windows Movie Maker, but kind of a pain in the ass at times. I don't know what else to say, honestly. I can probably talk about the future. So, I want to finish off the Cars of Twisted Metal 2, and that's going to take, I have no idea how long. I'll be honest, it's actually been pretty... It was a decent amount of work to actually do proper reviews of, like the review that got published today, the Roadkill one, and the freeze locking video. That actually was... It definitely wasn't like it was beforehand, where it was just a picture of the car and just talk random bullshit into a microphone. So, in which case, making more reviews like that might be a little stuttered and in between, but you're not going to be waiting fucking 7 or 8 years for the next one. So, I think it'd actually be a good time to kind of take stock of what car you guys want to see next. I've got scripts dating back to like 2016 where I was thinking about restarting it, but I wasn't in the mood, or I was in the mood. But, motivation's kind of whimsical, shall we say. So, yeah, I've got scripts written up for Twister, Axel, and I think I'm kind of done with Mr. Slams. Still got to write up Shadow, Hammerhead, Minion. I was going to redo Sweet Tooths because I still feel like I can do a little bit better on that. Warthog, Outlaw 2, Mr. Grimm, Grasshopper, Thumper, Spectre, and then pretty much a how to fight Darkseid. Darkseid. Darktooth. Final boss of Twisted Metal 2. Darkseid's someone completely different. And then other things I wanted to do. So I'm still going to keep doing the track tours for like Twisted or PS1 games. The Duel of the Week things for GT Sport, those are things I'm still doing because that's part of a forum I'm on. It's just mainly we just compare like two different cars and we decide which one's better. Mine, I typically do lap times, so whichever one comes out on top on lap times wins my vote. I mean, they're more for that particular audience as opposed to like actual entertainment, like, ooh, wow, this is so awesome, like, ooh, let's have a discussion on it. It's between my actual schoolwork right now and all that, that's a little too much work. So, other than that, I also want to do a series on, not exactly well-known games, like if it's covered by like five different reviewers, like big name reviewers, I'm not going to bother touching it. But it's a series I want to do called Give It a Shot, where I pretty much just kind of do a little bit of a playthrough on it and just kind of voice my opinions and thoughts during that, and kind of come to a conclusion of, hey, you should probably try this out, or yeah, forget about it, this isn't too good of a game. And I kind of want to do that for just obscure games, and could be other, it could be platformers, it could be racing games, that sort of thing. Because Lord knows I've got a lot of those. So I think that's my past, present, and future for right now. Hope you guys have enjoyed my content over the years. I hope you look forward to new stuff that's coming out. I know I've got a whole bunch of other live streams I'm gonna wind up doing with my friends that I've gotten GTA 5 right now. I mean, they've been really good crew. I've absolutely awesome hanging out with them. It's really cool. So, anyways, I guess I'll see you guys later. You guys take care and have a good night.